Zeus. Coming up first, Zeus, CEO of Olympus, the king of gods, father of the year, according to absolutely no one. Known for throwing thunderbolts and, well, throwing himself at anything with a pulse, his romantic resume reads like a Greek tragedy and an animal encyclopedia. He's the biological father of roughly half of Olympus. Hercules, his kid. Athena, sort of. Apollo, Artemis, Perseus, and Helen of Troy. It's not a tree anymore. It's more of a divine jungle at this point. In modern terms, Zeus would be trending on Twitter every other day for alleged lightning misconduct, and would definitely have a PR team working overtime. Hera. Next is Hera, the queen of grudges, goddess of marriage. She is Olympus's official first lady, poised, regal, and absolutely done with everyone's nonsense, especially her husband's extracurriculars. She's the patron saint of passive-aggressive vengeance. She won't send you a breakup text, but she'll turn you into a cow, exile you to wander forever, or casually curse your descendants for eternity. That's just Tuesday for her. In short, Hera's motto is, if you mess with my marriage, I mess with your entire existence. Poseidon. Poseidon is the god of the sea, earthquakes, and horses. Why horses? No one knows. It's typical Greek mythology. He's the most extra sibling in Olympus's divine group chat. Extra how? He's got the ocean at his command, and the temperament of a caffeinated shark. And his greatest invention? The mood swings. 1 minute, calm blue waters. The next, boom, whirlpools, storms, and a full Kraken release. He's the kind of guy who holds grudges so hard, he invented tsunamis out of spite. He once cursed Odysseus to spend 10 years lost at sea, just because the guy blinded his Cyclops son. Also, this is the guy who tried to claim Athens by creating a saltwater spring, and then he lost to Athena because she gave him olives. Saltwater versus guac. Tough break. Hades. Hades, god of the underworld. But don't get it twisted, he's not the devil. He's just really into the whole death and shadows vibe. He's the goth uncle. While his brothers are out there partying, marrying mortals, and causing global chaos, Hades is, well, at home, in a cavern, with a 3-headed dog named Cerberus and a pile of existential dread. He's not flashy, and doesn't cheat on his wife, whom he technically kidnapped, but okay. And you can thank him for seasonal depression. Persephone, daughter of Demeter, was just picking flowers one day, and Hades popped out of the ground like a goth jack-in-the-box and yoinked her to the underworld. But he's not evil, just introverted, morbidly organized, and probably listens to sad playlists at full volume. Athena. Athena didn't get born the usual way. She burst out fully grown from Zeus's forehead. She's the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and controlled power. This is rare on Mount Olympus. If there's a war, she's drawing up the blueprints, not just yelling and flexing. She's also the patron of cities, arts, justice, and practical decisions. This makes her the mom friend of the pantheon. Invented the olive tree, it gifted Athens its name, and rumor has it that she created spreadsheets, policies, and ergonomic battle gear. Hephaestus. Next, Hephaestus is the guy who builds everything cool in Olympus. Zeus's lightning bolts, Hermes' winged sandals, and even Pandora. Yes, that Pandora. Basically, if it sparks and explodes, he probably made it. He's the god of fire, craftsmanship, volcanoes, and tragic backstories. Hera yeeted him off Olympus for being too ugly, so he grew up with real trauma. His love life is like marrying your crush and finding out she's dating the entire modeling industry behind your back, because his wife, Aphrodite, is the literal goddess of hot people and cheating. If Olympus had a LinkedIn, he'd be the one with a full portfolio, 0 endorsements. Aphrodite. Born from sea foam after Uranus got, well, removed from power. We'll skip biology, let's just say her origin story is not safe for work. She's the goddess of love, beauty, desire, and absolute chaos, Every room she walks into becomes a love triangle, or a love pentagon. She's the reason most Greek myths read like romantic thrillers gone horribly wrong. She's the mother of Eros, Cupid, which means, yes, Valentine's Day is all her fault. So are about half of all wars and 90% of every god's bad decisions. She's married to Hephaestus, but that hasn't stopped her from sleeping with Ares, mortals, and probably at least 2 statues. She could seduce a rock, and honestly, she probably did. Twice. And it wrote poetry about her. Hermes. Next, Hermes. He's basically the divine version of a startup founder on Red Bull. He's got winged sandals, a cheeky grin, and zero respect for speed limits or property law. This is the guy who invented lying before breakfast, and then turned it into a career. Patron of thieves and salesmen? Definitely not a coincidence. Literally, on day 1, as a baby, he stole Apollo's cattle, invented the lyre, and talked his way out of punishment. He handles souls to the underworld, divine messages, side hustles, and DoorDash deliveries all at once. He's got more jobs than anyone else on Olympus, and still has time to prank people. He will ghost you and then write a philosophical essay explaining why you were actually ghosting yourself. Dionysus. Dionysus, god of wine, madness, theater. He's the ultimate contradiction. Sacred and wild, joyful and terrifying, and often too drunk to explain it. He showed up to Olympus late, but immediately brought the best vibes, and the worst hangovers. His cults involved ritual frenzy, cross-dressing, hallucinations, and outdoor theater. Because why not mix Shakespeare with wine and forest fun? He's the only Olympian who was once mortal. This makes him relatable and extra. Half the time, he's handing you a goblet, and then he's turning people into dolphins or trees or disrespecting the arts. Ares. Ares is the god of war and testosterone. Unlike Athena, he's all about bloodshed, chaos, but also courage. He's definitely the guy who would show up shirtless to a bar fight and then lose. He's what happens when you give a gym bro divine powers and a sword. This guy charges in first and thinks later. Or never. The other gods hate him. Even Zeus calls him the most hateful of gods. He's basically the family embarrassment who keeps trying to be cool but ends up causing property damage. He's Aphrodite's on and off, mostly on, lover, which makes things extra awkward at family reunions. Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, wild animals, archery, the moon, and telling men to go away. She's fierce, independent, and 100% not here for your nonsense. She swore off men, marriage, and drama. And she's spent eternity holding that boundary like a queen. She runs with wolves, lives in the woods, and once turned a guy into a deer because he saw her bathing. Her hobbies include destroying creeps, mentoring young maidens, and shooting things from very far away. If Athena is the wise friend, Artemis is the wild one who's never online, never wrong, and will absolutely hex you if you leave trash in her forest. Apollo. Apollo is the god of music, poetry, prophecy, the sun, healing, plague, archery, and possibly influencer culture. Basically, if there's a spotlight, he's under it. He's flawless in theory, but messy in practice. A true overachiever who falls in love too fast, gets dumped harder, and still writes a song about it like a Greek John Mayer. He once killed a guy in a discus accident, then got dumped by a nymph who turned into a tree, and tried to seduce a mortal woman. That's a rough dating history. Also, his twin sister Artemis has a better kill record, which he will never admit. He thinks he's the golden boy, but he's mostly just mansplaining with a harp. Demeter. If you've ever eaten bread or thanked a harvest, Demeter's the one behind it. She had one job, grow the food, and she crushed it. Until Hades pulled the ultimate Greek move and kidnapped her daughter, Persephone, straight into the underworld. Demeter did not take it well. She plunged the entire earth into famine and winter, and refused to work, and sulked, until Zeus finally intervened. So, now we have seasons. When Persephone's with Mom, it's spring and summer. Otherwise, it's cold, gray, and sad. Hence the seasonal depression. Hestia. Lastly, Hestia is the goddess of hearth, home, and family dinners that don't end in shouting. Unlike the rest of the Olympian circus, Hestia is peaceful and stable. She's the first-born Olympian. She tends the sacred flame, that warm, cozy symbol of togetherness the other gods constantly ignore. Think of her as the celestial introvert. She keeps the houseplants alive, lights candles, and makes sure no one burns down the kitchen, while Zeus and company are out turning into swans and starting wars.